Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Garbage Scouts in Pirates of the Caribbean film series, Captain Simon Perryman. Today is Wednesday, August 18, 2021 today, and we're just going to do the reconsiderations that are about for 5 days left, which is concluding about August 13th for the confirmations about the consoles updated. We fixed the problems and they were mostly about it simultaneously. So we're just gonna have to lift those three of them about part one and part two, and the part three is we're just gonna lift it we're just gonna lift off we're just gonna lift it for August 30th to 31st for console Be Patient part one and two. So we're gonna do that about Rancho consoles updated, also to be concerned about problems related to be continuing about the 2 days left. So all the things you can concern about the red mores, about the serious issues, the problems. If it's sometimes it's simultaneously, so the fast travels, the excellent from the reserves. If a Yukon Valley works, Leighton Lake, Park Fernandos, Silver Ridge Peaks, Fahanga Savannah, Quacha Colinas, Hirschfelden, Meved Taiga, and Tia Aurora. We're just gonna discover too about a lot of animals are there. All for the outposted should works for now. For the fast travel does works from buggings to glitching, the animals disappearing for all for the animals. We can concern about ATV headlights, which is I concerned about during the night about 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. So which is so headlights goes to the walking the running, and then the ATV drivers just turn the headlamps on. Also, we can concern about gonna fix the problems and about ATVs during the Xbox Ones. So the Xbox One is still good. Is still good to go. So, and that lady's name, Sanka Canterbury, and Megs. The production owner says, so we do have it still fix the problems to be continuing about 75% up to the 75% at about Wednesday for today. So tomorrow would be for the Thursdays, which is about we concerned about 90% for those tomorrow Thursday, August 19th, and so Friday we can concern about discovery a whole lot of those interesting. So we're just gonna do something about 100% about Friday 20th, and it shows over the red moors. It shows over about the wheat moors. Also, you can discern about Yukon Valleys has the wheat moors, Leighton Lake wheat moors, Silver Ridge Peaks wheat moors, Park Fernando wheat moors, Quacha Colinas wheat moors, Hirschfeld wheat moors, Meved Taiga wheat moors, and Tia Aurora wheat moors, and Fahanga Savannah wheat moors, and that one should be the wheat moors on Rancho del Rio, which is all can concern about the bighorn sheeps on the desert Mexicans, and they have some white-tailed deers, and mule deers, has the stills, coyotes, a new ewing, so the five of them on the Mexican bobcats, Rio Grande turkeys, ringneck pheasants, antelope jackrabbits, and color peccary known as javelina. It looks smaller than animals, just like small boars and hogs. Sometimes the same likes of the wild boars and feral pigs and feral hogs around the world. They always hunted the boars and hogs and feral pigs, though wild animals. They always get the butcher because meat on it that gets becoming pork. Pretty good that gets cooking a lot for the boar meats, hog meats, and the feral pig meats. So pretty good. So we're just gonna do that about the remorse today. We just have it the capture simultaneously problems, and so what were they thinking about for the past 2 months ago? always is thinking about for the June 29th, the pieces discovered that are available now. Also, we're going to concern about for the past 5 months. So, I know that someday also we can concern about the console updates. We'll see the concern about 1.69%, 69 updaters. So, do you think it's okay about the great ones, about the fabled, about the 10 fabled, and which is discovered through the 4 easies, 5 mediums, 6 hard, 7 very hard, 8 mythical, and 9 legendary means it kept going, which means it got the great ones. All the Stinkins are concerned about the diamonds of the great ones. That's the monster buck of the Rancho Double Wheel and the boat of the Latent Lake for the whitetails. And those freedom, as long as we can concern about the Mexican bobcats, just really concerned about for the Iraqian lynx and the Vivid taiga, and gray wolves in Yukon Valley, and Park Pima and Park Venado, lions and for Hunger Savannah, and for that, so Sika deer and Tierra Aurora, red deers and Hirschfelden. So even the black bears in the Latent Lake and Silver Race Peace, just both of them have been reserved to the Colorado and the Pacific Northwest. So we're gonna say we just have it about to spend a lot of time on all this weekend concern about those slept in, all things we can concern about resting zones, eating zones, feeding zones, and drinking zones, and all you have to do is just check out the molar ducks, just and put it at the decoys and the molar ducks, mollards, harlequin ducks, and cinnamon tails, including toms and gobblers, toms, gobblers, and jennies. Just all the turkeys, all the Merriam turkeys had to put the decoys on it. They just wanted to make it the lurie calls. Kind of like the turkey, kind of like the Merriam turkey hunt for the Silver Peaks and Tierra Aurora National Park. I would have to say this: Rio Grande Turkey and Mexico and the Rancho del Rio hunting reserves is mostly directed for the Park Fernandos. At that hunting reserve, what studio was brought you in the Latent Lake, Silver Peaks, Yukon Valley, and Vivid taiga, and for Hunger Savannah, and Quadricolinas, and Hirschfelden. So in the director for the Hunter Classic, there's a lot of really conservational just looking at scenes about really intimidating for about the gray wolves in Yukon Valley in Alaska, and Quadricolinas in Spain. They still have Iberian wolves just about spooking for the Bosetti ibex, southeastern Spanish ibex, Guedos ibex, Iberian mouflons, Ronda ibex, which is we studied about this about the spooking to the roe deers for drinking, red deers, and the wild boars. So basically, the three have it about aggressive, about the wolves, the boars, and it's even the two closer to about 15 meters straight. I'm also to have the 15 yards straight. When the boars it gets closer, it gets aggressive. They have escape. Do I have escape from the wild boars that attack for a tripod stance, or the tree stands, which is about escaping for the wild boars attacks, the Vivid taiga, Hirschfeldens, Quadricolinas, and the Pharaoh Pigs attacks just escaped to tree stands, to the tripod stands for the Tierra Aurora, the aggressive Pharaoh hogs. And so Warhawks, So they have the warhogs that are aggressive. It certainly escapes the attacks for many of you. Even the Cape buffaloes and lions. Also to have it's pretty too close at about the 45 meters, 45 yards straight for the lion's attacks, and he runs faster as they can, about class 9, about 100 miles per hour. So indefinitely the lions have been attacking about, it's been too close at about 45 meters straight. So I have to escape to tripod stance. It's too close. It was certainly too close for the lion attacks. They're fleeing. So even buffaloes can't flee. So I took a shot about the multiple times when the Cape buffalo herds just always getting aggressive, and the effort indomitable and enormous vicious attacks. So basically including leopards and hyenas, and sometimes they're three aggressive about lions, the warhogs and buffaloes. Even the park fernandos has water buffaloes have aggressive too. And what can I say? I just feel like the surprise about bisons or buffaloes on the hunter card for the wild just nearly escapes. So I just back it up straight. I just kind of like a concern about plains bisons and Yukon Valley and Silver Peaks attacks on the gameplays, and including European bisons and Hirschfeldens. So we forgot about it. The water buffalo, the park fernando, out in the hunting reserves, the Cape buffaloes and the hunger savannas, lions and warhogs. If we're certainly discovered too, as hard as we do. So we do have the grizzly bears and gray wolves and bisons that do exactly the Yukon Valley, just the three aggressive animals. The two animal aggressive that have the black bears, mostly have black bears and plains bisons, and so nothing about the one aggressive for park fernandos. So part of it is really exactly, I just wanted to say, be careful about when you're hunting for boars and feral pigs and buffaloes and bisons and wolves, lions and bears. So even we could. So even the color peccary too. Just make sure to take a deep breath and take a time. Take a time to take a shot about 20 meters straight. It's better. So things that we need to do is to, as I'm also to have the messages, which is listening the LadyLegendXO. So often we can concerns about the consoles updated to the Xbox Ones and PS4 and PS5. So it should be about the 2 days left. It's not even a delay anymore for the August. So we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna do that at about lifted. We're just gonna do the lifted for the 30th, Monday and Tuesday, 30th to 31st, during the end of December. During the end of about 123 days. So we're just gonna do that about 20th today. We're just gonna discover too as hard as we do. So I can't unfortunately be patient. A lot of every people the Xbox consoles, the EW. So she says the Xbox One was good to go, and including PCs or computers and online todays are available about June 29th. Then, so I can't be, unfortunately. I still have about talking about 1 hour to 30 minutes story missions only on Rancho. It doesn't need it doesn't need the side missions anymore. They only have the story missions of the Silver's Peaks, Tierra Aurora, and Rancho del Rio. They have it about Hirschfelden, Leighton Lake, Meved Taiga, Valhanga Savannah, Park Fernandos, Yukon Valley, and Quachacalinas for side missions. So you can only do that about the story mission of the Silver's Peaks, Tierra Aurora, and Park Rancho del Rio. So Silver's Peaks is just three from the hunting research during the continue to for the COVID-19 pandemic. So which means we don't need the side missions anymore on Silver's Peaks. So we don't need the side missions to see about Tierra Aurora. So Rancho del Rio coming in soon for the consoles. We don't need the side missions anymore. You can only have story missions for only during the beginning and end. So people get to watch the Red for the Letters part 1 or 2. That means which is to get to communicate. You can as far as I am concerned about community letters, all things we can discern about almost last week, probably the last 7 days left, plus 7 days ago. So which is Shanka and Megs was apologizing for delaying all this weekend, delaying the Rancho del Rio about last month ago for a long time, for 60 days. And that thing is not gonna able to be disappointed all the times, all days along. So they will always do that about responsible. As far as people do have it about playing officials in the gameplays on the Leighton Lakes. We can do that about especially for the whitetails, black-tailed deers, Roosevelt elks, moose, molars, and even the jackrabbits and coyotes and bears in Pacific Northwest and the Leighton Lake during the game reserves. So make sure don't give up about the Rancho del Rio. So make sure that we started in the new one game. So all this we can concern about the beginning today, which means I choose the Yukon Valley. You guys or whatever you get to the new game, however to get to the maximum wave, whoever you're the one that begins about Hirschfeldes or Leighton Lake or Meved Taiga or Valhanga Savannah or Tierra Aurora or Silver's Peaks or Park Fernando or Rancho del Rio or Yukon Valley. So however you guys get to the restart for the new games one and about new reserves in the new one. Sorry. Alright guys, thank you so much for coming in guys for Xbox One EW. Be patient. So that should be part 1 about today is Wednesday, August 19th. Probably the final consultation. So don't forget hit the button to subscribe. Some more content. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Find Cameras, so Caucus Talk and Caucus Stories, to Tumblrs and Hangouts. So make sure to subscribe on the game. Make sure to subscribe on the LadyLegendXOs, DG33, Whiskies, Zaggy DKs, Ramen Tubes, Flinters, The Long Gamers, Scarecrows, Jackson Beers, and Jackson Beers and the Spencer Worlds. And I subscribe for Overhand Shuffle. It should be about coming soon as they can about Rancho del Rio, just Rancho del Rio story missions only. Be sure to subscribe on the Overhand Shuffle on the Hunting Expedition, the Marathon. Feel free to watch overhand shovels on Yukon Valleys, Silver's Peaks, Latent Lakes and Quadricolinas and Parfananos, Vahanga Savannas, Maved Taigas, Tierra Roa, and so it's always do that about the 9 of 10. 9 it always becomes 10. See you guys. So make sure don't forget to watch on overhand shovels. Feel free. Don't forget. Keep it witching, guys. Keep it witching.